Hello, I'm Damiano from Italy. Sorry for my English. If a repetitive system works, then the system is repetitive. This is not a demonstration of the existence of God. It is rather the verification, observation of it, and also of the fact that reality is prevalently non-scientific. This is not religion, this is not science, this may be the end of the two as we know, because God exists, but is not specific. The fact that something unreal can exist is a bad news for science. And the fact that it is not specific, not definable, is a bad news for religion, because every religion, more or less, says that their God is the one. Instead, God are we, even if we are not God. Is it possible to demonstrate the existence of God? Obviously the answer is no, because God is immaterial, existing, non-provable. But if a repetitive system works, then the system is repetitive. Repetitive, associative, immaterial. This is the fundamental figure. We'll be back to this in a minute. Where do the previous figures come from? In order to desperately understand, to find out why a famous psychological test worked, I was trying to pair the colors of the test in couples of psychological opposites. For example, if blue means to listen, red is to say. If green is to understand, to intend, to hear, to comprehend, yellow is to see. Oh, I see. So I asked myself which were the opposite of the color gray. Of course, I'm skipping passages. It took me about 20 years to build the method. Then, one night, smoking a cigarette on the balcony. I've given up smoking, but at that time I used to smoke. I discovered the answer. The opposite of gray is transparency. It was an immense discovery, because to call the invisible with its own name, of course transparency is invisible, in reality allowed you to see it, and in a way to partially manage what couldn't be otherwise managed. So I started to use colors as a parameter, if you wish, a kind of math, to understand the world. Reasoning prevalently with association, intuition, and also comparison and logic, but on the basis that reality is prevalently associative, allowed me to to discover the characteristic of the other side of the reality. That is completely simple, normal, and present, do not misunderstand me. But so simple to be invisible. Notice, for example, that energy means motion, pure motion, without matter. Or that flow and time belongs to two different categories. This allows us to define what time is, as I explained in another video called Discovered What Time Is. Notice that God and I belong to the same category. That means we are God, even if God are not we. Or notice the couple I consider the most significant, existing and real. But let's go back to our purpose. If a repetitive system works, then the system is repetitive as a verification of the existence of God. We can see that the system is prevalently repetitive every morning, watching a clock, breathing. There's no doubt about that. But also numbers and mathematical forms in general, they are a repetitive system. How can I say, for example, that 3 horses and 3 chickens are always 3? It is not logical, because they are different. But they are equal, because they are always 3. Equal, association, repetition. If the system wasn't prevalently, repetitive, associative, translative, I could not even count, for example. Because when I count, I translate and I associate. I use the same system for different things. And I am the passenger in doing so. That is, the associative, indeterminable aspect prevails. In other words, if a system is fluid and the logic is solid, logic is not enough to describe the system. This means that the concept of God is physically consistent and prevalent, and in fact, by means of it, it is possible to explain different things otherwise unexplainable, like what time is, the dualism wave-particle, the entanglement, what is energy, mass, gravity, matter, gender difference, psychological status, soul, body, spirit, the origin of physical constants, and infinity. So, being the relevant category the same, God exists and repetitive function works. If the system is repetitive, God exists. If you think that the system is repetitive, share this with your friends. If you think it is dissociative, I'm very sorry for you. If you want to know more about the topic, go to YouTube and search "Discover What Time Is" or visit philosophyofcolors.com. Bye.